Good afternoon. My name is Amber Waters, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 1995 movie Crimson Tide, starring Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman. Now, there are several different leadership styles that you could discuss today, and I believe that leadership is not a one size fits all definition. You have to apply it to the situation and go from there. Now, with that being said, the core leadership styles that I believe were best embodied in the movie were a very authoritative style from Captain Ramsey and a very democratic or I'm going to say follower friendly from Lieutenant Commander Hunter. I know that's not the technical term. Now, the reason I selected these styles was because while I don't have any personal military experience, I was raised in a military family, and I've seen some of the things that my dad had to do. Now, Captain Ramsey is your stereotypical military leader. He has the experience to back up his decisions. He has seen battle. He has been tested. Everything. Perfect military officer in the eyes of the military. And he goes so far as to say, you do what I do, you do what I say, you don't ask questions. That is a very authoritative style. It's my way or the highway, you don't get a choice. On the opposite side, you have Lieutenant Commander Hunter. He is portrayed by Denzel Washington, and he has more of a democratic style of leadership. He wants to see all pieces of the puzzle put together and analyze all of the facts before making a decision that could affect the lives of millions of people. Now, the reason I selected these styles was simply based off of my core knowledge of what I've observed in my personal life. Captain Ramsey, like I said, just screams authority. And then Lieutenant Commander Hunter is more on the let's see what the information has to say and let's get feedback from people who are knowledgeable of that area. Now, when it comes to the leadership styles depicted in the movie, which one would I want to emulate? I would have to go with Lieutenant Commander Hunter. Now, I'm in hospitality, and hospitality is a people business. You have to look at all the facts of the situation, and you have to apply your leadership style based on the situation at hand. You can't just walk up to somebody and go, you're either going to do it this way or you're not going to do it at all. It does not work in my industry, and I don't feel that I could comfortably emulate an authoritative style of leadership when it comes to what I want to do with my degree. Now, according to Kelly's followership description, I want to talk about the scene where Captain Ramsey and Lieutenant Commander Hunter kind of come to a head in their argument. They have just received a fragmented message that suggests that they might need to fire a live nuclear warhead. Due to technology issues, communication issues, they did not get all of the message, and Captain Ramsey's fly by the seat of his pants approach says, you know what, let's take what we've got, let's go with it, let's not risk anything, let's go ahead and fire the nuclear warhead. Whereas, as I've mentioned before, Lieutenant Commander Hunter wants to get more information. He wants to find out all of the pieces of the puzzle because he knows that the next steps could seriously affect the lives of millions of people. He could unintentionally start World War III by firing a nuclear warhead. This movie is kind of set during Cold War issues between the U.S. and Russia. So we have to tread lightly, so to speak. Now, when you kind of analyze Kelly's followership description, you have different types of followers. You have the alienated followers, you have the conformist followers, a pragmatic follower, and on board the ship, you have tons of men, or you have a good majority of the men that have followed Gene Hackman through his career, and they trust him with their life. They trust his decisions, and they're even quoted as saying, we've been with Captain Ramsey for years, and now we just have to follow Lieutenant Commander Hunter just because he says so, which leads me to believe that when Lieutenant Commander Hunter made the decision to arrest Captain Ramsey and lock him in his quarters, that he kind of went about it the wrong way, and he in turn alienated a bunch of support. The followers that had been with Captain Ramsey probably would have followed Commander Hunter just a little bit better if the situation had been approached differently. Now, you have the conformist followers, and they go on both sides. The conformist followers that were like, well, maybe Lieutenant Commander Hunter has something good going here, but I don't want to ruffle feathers of my fellow soldiers or sailors, so I'm going to go with the alienated followers just because that it makes my life easy. But then you also have the conformist followers that are going to kind of ride the coattails of the ones who are going, you know what, Lieutenant Commander Hunter's got the right idea, we're going to follow him. So that style can go either way. I would say in the given situation, the interactions that both Captain Ramsey and Lieutenant Commander Hunter had with their followers were inappropriate, because I feel that if it was me in that situation, I have the ethical dilemma where I am having to protect the lives of millions of people, but I'm also having to do what my commanding officer says. I feel that they both could have handled things in different ways, and if I had more time, I would get into the plus models and things like that we've talked about in class. I wanted to take this time to thank you for listening to me ramble, and I apologize if my voice sounds a little raspy. Something new in the pollen has come out and taken over, but thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Good luck in the rest of class.